Pancakes. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Kingdom. We'd like to welcome all of our guests, listeners, viewers from around this beautiful country, Manitoba, Sask, Alberta, Pincher Creek, and to the West Coast, BC, and all the way up to Newfoundland, on the Rock, and anybody else listening. Could be anywhere in the world. We're glad to have you here tonight. Kind of a quiet week in golf, but we've still managed to put quite the list together tonight. So without further ado, boys, let's get to it. We'll see you in 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As always, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by the brothers behind King Golf, Regan and Jordan Headley. We can get back on track and back to our regular scheduled programming this week. Send it up north. See what's going on with our boy, Reg. Reginald, how are you, bud?
Yeah, gentlemen, doing good. Doing good. Not much to report north of the park here. Got a big snowstorm. I'm sure you guys got it too yesterday, day before. We're just about out of the woods and we got hit again. We're supposed to get another one this weekend. But after that, it looks very promising to an early golf season. I mean, believe it or not, we could be a month away from golf, just over a month. So hard to believe. It doesn't seem like it's that time of year already, but we are on a normal year. It would be the last day of February today, but leap year this year. So we got 29th of February tomorrow. Hard to believe we're here. We're almost through the darkness, boys.
We're inching our way out. And then the snow comes and we get inched right back in.
That's okay, though. This will melt.
Back inside.
It's good for the farmers, hey? Good for the farmers.
Yes, very good. Very good. And in turn, that means it's good for us. Jor, have you heard I guess it's not really a conspiracy, but somebody's laid out that there should be 29 days in every month?
No, you don't want me to get into time and dates. We'll be here for a while.
Because then every month would have the exact same number of days. It would end on a Sunday and begin on a Monday. It works perfectly if everything goes to a 29-day month.
So why wouldn't we? Well, what's the conspiracy behind it?
I'm not sure. There's something there.
It'd be kind of shitty, though, if your birthday was on a Monday and then all of a sudden your birthday is just a Monday every year.
Why? What's the difference?
I don't know. I'm kind of with Reggie here. I kind of like the chaos. I'm a guy of chaos, not perfectly structured everything.
All right.
Why not? Leap year, who cares?
Yep. And on this leap year, how are things out in Rossman?
Hello, folks. What do you think of that, Reggie? It's my new intro.
Hello, folks. Your new intro?
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
Hello, folks.
But we'll see. We'll see if it sticks. Anyways, things are good out here. We got a shitload of snow as well. Almost winter was over, but we're back. What do you got tonight, Reggie?
I got a typewriter double brown ale.
Any good?
Damn good.
Guess what I got?
Looks like iced tea.
Looks like whiskey and 7-Up and ginger.
Nope. Whiskey Diet Press.
What
was I going to say? Oh, I got my orange hoodie on tonight for very obvious reasons. Let me take a quick look here. I know this is a golf podcast, but I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. So today, the price of one Bitcoin got to 64,000, which hit an all-time high in Canada. Even though it hasn't hit the all-time high in America yet, it hit an all-time high in Canada. Last week at this time, it was 50,000. So it's up $14,000 since we talked last on the Kingdom. So that's why we got the orange on tonight. Things are looking good. And when Bitcoin's running, there's lots of excitement in this house. So it's what we want. Yep.
Why is it a higher price in the States than it is in Canada?
Because last time the US hit an all-time high, the dollar was closer to theirs, in like Canadian American.
Just the conversion, right? Okay.
Yeah, so our currency has lost value since the last all-time high. So that's where we are.
Doesn't
Canada
feel
hit
like
it today. Pardon me? Yeah.
Sure doesn't feel like it.
There's actually about, I'd say at least 20. I don't know about after today, but yesterday there's 15 countries who hit an all-time high in Bitcoin because their currencies
Purchases?
losing quicker than Canada's somehow. But no, things are good. Things are looking up. It's been a long couple of years in my life in terms of that kind of stuff. So it's good to be back for sure. There's some George Strait playing quite loud today in this household. But
You're good.
glad to be here tonight. Let's kick her off to Drummy, and then we'll get into some golf chat. What's up in Wheat City, Drummy? Any birds in the house?
Birdless. We've been mouseless for probably a couple months here, so we might be rodentless. Fingers crossed for the time being. Anyways, we'll see how long this lasts. I don't think that we got the snow that you guys got over the weekend. We got a bit, but it's not enough to really piss you off. It kind of just replaced the little bit we had the week or two prior. So a bit more shoveling, but not kind of drastic measures just yet. Yeah, boys, not much going on over here. Just trying to get through February. It's just, I don't know what happened. January absolutely flew by. February, it's just an inch by inch. So we actually we did get out for our Valentine's Day supper this weekend finally, so that was good. Have a little date night with
Where'd you
with
go in
Liz,
Brandon?
just us. We ended up going to Benny's. First time,
Oh, nice.
first time in quite a while we've been there. So love that spot. Good spot. Great dinner. Our first time being there since Ben passed. So new owners, same menu, same service. So they're just trying to stay pat with how things were there prior. So pretty good. But yeah, other than that, boys, just surviving. Watching a lot of hockey these days. Reg, are you doing that as well?
Yeah, I've been watching quite a bit. Nothing crazy, but yeah, definitely been following along. Should be an exciting deadline coming up. Although I saw that they took a couple guys off the block today, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, Tanev just went a couple hours ago, and I don't know, man. Like this is just like the craziest kind of season I can remember in like a long time. Like there's every week there's kind of a good storyline. Like that Rempe kid. You seen this?
Mm-hmm.
This 7-footer in New York just fighting everybody that will drop the mitts with him. So yeah, there's just crazy stories.
Yeah.
Matthews is on pace for 155 goals. Like it's just a weird year, but like fun at the same time. There's a lot of violence this year.
Okay, what? 150 goals this year?
No. Seems like it. He's on pace for over 70.
75 or something like that. Yeah.
It's wild. Wild what he's doing. Canadian teams are buzzing. I think this is the year that a Canadian team, I don't give a shit who it is, finally breaks through. Canucks are up there, Jets are up there, Oilers, Leafs. You have to love it. Yeah, I know it's a golf podcast like George said, but I made a couple trades in fantasy hockey the last couple of days that shook the world up. I acquired Draisaitl. It's a keeper league, and I got Draisaitl. So I actually got Draisaitl and Hyman in the same trade. So I had Draisaitl, Hyman, and McDavid on the same team.
What?
And I traded McDavid away yesterday. He's probably not too used to getting traded or gets traded in any leagues, but I acquired Matthew Tkachuk and Cale Makar for McDavid. So
a 2-for-1.
Crazy trade. Yeah, 2-for-1. But I got rid of the guy. It's interesting. I'll have to explain it all to you afterwards. It's a keeper league, and yeah,
I don't hate it at all, actually.
Mm-hmm. More categories and stuff. So I think the buzz around the league is that I might have won the trade, so that's good. You always like it when that happens.
Perfect.
let's
Hey,
get
we're
into
done
some
with
golf.
hockey.
Yeah, done with hockey. What I was just feeling my leg here. I hit myself so hard on the knee today with a shovel. You might wonder how that happened, but I was shoveling and instead of going to the garage and getting a ice chipper, I decided just to turn the shovel upside down and try to chip it that way and smashed my knee. And it was cold today. It was like minus 25 today. Smashed my knee, side of my knee with the actual shovel part of it, dropped me. I haven't been in that much pain for, well, I mean, it hurt, but I mean, when you're 35 years old, you don't put yourself in too many situations where you're going to get hurt anymore. So it dropped me. It hurt like hell.
So how did you hit your knee?
Well, I turned the shovel around to hit it like that, and it hit I was going underneath my car, and so it came and hit my knee, the side of the shovel. So I was hitting like this, so I basically just came right down and it clipped the side of my knee and it dropped me.
Oh,
And I can
Jesus.
tell
You
it's
hit
going
it
to be
like
a
that.
big bruise. Yeah.
You hit it on the side.
So luckily nobody's around here, so nobody saw me fall. But
Did you go check your security footage?
No, it wouldn't have shown up. The security footage doesn't. It only covers a certain part. I wish it covered more because I see tracks kind of everywhere around here, but it doesn't pick much up on the camera. Okay, well, let's get to some golf. What's that?
Funny you said like you're 35 and you don't get hurt that much anymore. Like, remember as a kid, like you just have like cut knees and cut elbows all the time just from doing
Everything.
stupid shit.
Luke is 3,
Hard
and
to
I'm like,
believe
where
that
did
was
you
a
get this?
time, like, yeah, exactly.
I'm like, where'd you get this? Well, I don't know. Are you okay? Yeah. All right, let's keep going then.
Just carpet burn everywhere. Concrete burn. Oof.
Okay, well, let's do the cheers for tonight. Every show we start with a cheers. We congratulate somebody in the world who's been doing good or something that we support. So this week I wanted to give a cheers to Charlie Woods because I know he had a tough hole that was sent across the golf world. I mean, you have to feel for the guy, but I wanted to give him a cheers. Not that he'll ever see it, but I just feel like Charlie Woods is in such a weird spot that nobody will ever understand. Having Tiger Woods as your dad would be the biggest blessing, but also the biggest curse of your life. And so he's going to go through many things. I think as a 12 he took on a hole.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably catch a little bit of it later around the greens. But I want to give a shout out to Charlie because young kid, he's got a huge boot to fill, and he's doing a pretty good job. He's handled himself well. So I want to give a cheers to Charlie tonight. And regardless of what happens with his career, he's going to have a pretty good life. So cheers to Charlie.
Yeah, true. He, I think he came back with like 6 or 7 pars after that 12, didn't he?
Yeah, and he had a heck of a recovery. So
yeah, he was even maybe one over up to that point, and then no, maybe he had a double before that. I can't remember, but yeah, like it wasn't the prettiest card, but the kid's 15. Everybody relax.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'd like to see what half the people on the keyboard warriors would shoot in that situation. Probably 120.
Jeez.
What's AEC up to this week? Is he off?
Yeah, it looks like he's flying home today.
Yeah, I think he got back to Winnipeg today.
Saw some pretty cool videos of him teaching some African children golf. I was pretty impressed with the swings that I did see.
Yeah, phenomenal actually. That one girl just ripped it. Like the one that he shared the story of. Wow.
What's up, Drummy?
No, I wanted to keep going.
Okay.
I'll talk.
Well, let's cut. Drums is going to be okay here.
I got something in my eye.
We'll start the around the greens. What's going on in the world of golf this week, Drummy? Around the world, around the greens.
I guess we'll piggyback into the Charlie Woods stuff. So it kind of happened exactly how we were mentioning it last week. We said there was going to be a shit show around that kid for this qualifying event, and that's exactly what happened. Reports of guys like bringing Tiger Woods memorabilia and demanding that Charlie sign it, and then guys getting in scuffles with officials during the play. People trying to run up to Charlie as he's walking down the fairway. Like, there's no security for these events because this has never happened previously.
Right.
But I guess like it was something like 1,000 people showed up for this qualifying event to follow a 15-year-old around. And when he started peppering those ones into the bush, people were taken off in all directions trying to go get these balls to sell on eBay or whatever the hell they're doing. I don't know. Like, absolutely crazy. To me, this is like go to jail for a couple days, whatever the hell. Like,
Timeout.
there's reports of people pulling their kids out of school to go watch that. Like, I do get it. He is going to be a spectacle for the rest of his life. 100% he is.
Maybe.
But he's also 15.
Yeah. How did he take a 12? What was the situation there?
I didn't see.
Had to have been several lost balls because there's no way you can shoot a 12 without losing a couple.
I'm sure like the drive had to get away and multiple of them.
It happens,
so
man.
like you said, absolutely, we'll always cheers and hats off to him, but the bullshit surrounding him and the bullshit that will continue to surround him, because this isn't just going to be the first and last time this happens. He did have his own security, so I guess somebody in Tiger's camp was smart enough to realize, hey, we should probably at least have somebody there helping this guy out. Like, this is going to continue, because I mean, like, it's not like he's going to stop golfing or trying to compete for this type of thing in the future, right? We mentioned like he's not the best junior golfer in his state currently, so putting the amount of pressure that's already been put on that kid is just completely unfair.
But how do you not? Tiger's kid.
True.
You know what I mean? And Tiger's like played with him in all those tournaments and kind of brought him up into the spotlight. And obviously, like, he's not going into this as if we would. Like, he's not going into it unpracticed or untrained. Like, he's probably had people teach him how to handle this shit for like his last 6 years, like the best people in the world at what they do, right? And it is incredibly tough for the kid, but I mean, he's either gonna have to get used to it or quit golf, probably.
Yeah,
unfortunately, It is unfair, but it's the reality of his life. I mean, he's Tiger Woods' kid, and what comes with the bad, like, of all these people there is going to be good that he's going to get exemptions into a lot of tournaments that people who aren't Tiger Woods' kid would have the access to, I think. Anyways, it's kind of a double-edged sword, obviously. Like, it hurts him in ways like this. Imagine being 15, Christ, like you're in grade 10, and you got 1,000 people coming out to watch you try to qualify for a pre-qualifier, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild life.
Good to see you saw him strolling in with he was wearing JT's clothing, Grayson.
Yeah.
And a Titleist hat. That's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. Like,
he's not repping the SDRs yet.
Yeah, I kind of thought that he would.
But I'm also not opposed to like distancing yourself in different aspects.
But you can't, though. You can't. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to tell him what to do, but
like, what do you want him to wear? Fucking red and everything? Like,
yeah, that's true. I don't know. It'd be a weird thing.
My dad,
I probably would too, honestly. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I do get it, but he's not going to be that. So why put him in that? Yeah. It's a tough position. Like, I'm trying to think of it like from a parenting standpoint too. Like, I don't like, what do you do there? Like, there'll be cases where he can get him into tournaments and access to things that nobody else can. Is that benefiting him, or is that hurting him in the long run? Right? Like, yeah. But
I'm sure Tiger's thought a lot about it. So I don't think they're just winging this. That's what I will say.
For sure.
Okay. Chris is in the house. Big ups, fellas. Glad to see you here tonight. Chris. And Chesney's in the house as well. Charlie's got to deal with Grayson. So that might have happened actually before SDR was released. So might not be by choice.
Is that just a deal?
What's
What else
that?
we got, Dummy?
15-year-olds got sponsorship deals.
Sponsorship
Just
deal.
hilarious.
Oh, all right, sweet.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
Well, maybe we should reach out and see if he wants to be a King ambassador.
Yeah. Hey, Charles, you want to be king?
Good
Chucky.
evening, Chuck.
Chuckster, you feel like being a king or no?
So the winner on the PGA Tour last week, the Mexican Open, Jake Knapp. You see that? Have you seen this gentleman before? Put eyes on this swing. Whew. Take a
I
cut.
hadn't until this week, honestly, till he won, and I was all over Twitter.
Take a cut, my man. But this is an impressive stat. He is the first player in recorded history on the PGA Tour to win an event with a final round of hitting 2 or less fairways.
What?
Was he just
So he just
blasting
got
everywhere or what?
He was
He's
all
just
over
got
the
a
place.
nice swing, not effective.
I mean, I think he runs out of road quite a bit. So he'll hit it to a decent spot. He might just hit it a little bit too far
I see.
for the fairway a lot of times.
He's a
I don't know,
wicked
did you
putter,
guys-
isn't he?
Very good putter. Very good putter. I think this kid might end up being a decent player.
Yeah.
It wasn't the greatest of fields, so we're going to see some different names at an event like that. But I don't know. This kid seemed like a standout. He's got the look. He's got the swing, the kind of everything about him. He seems like an absolute beautician.
Yeah,
The celebration
man.
afterwards,
Sponsored by the Anaheim Ducks.
hilarious.
That's unbelievable. Because he played with the owner of the Ducks or like the president or something.
I think they're
Yeah,
in the middle of the same club.
Yeah, and the president would like help him out to get to events and stuff too.
Right.
So he made sure he always got to where he needed to be, and that was the way of doing it, being sponsored by the Anaheim Ducks.
That's so cool, though, honestly. Like,
It is. It's unreal.
I feel like that's a much better story than the MLB. Remember that guy who had MLB? Who was it? He was a big hitter. So he's still in
Wasn't
the
it
mix.
Postman? Postman?
No, it was
Poston? Or Cam Young?
Yes, Cam Young.
Yeah.
MLB sponsorship. I wonder what the story behind that is. I don't think it's quite as cool as this one, but yeah, it's pretty cool sponsors. I like that one. Never seen that before.
Yeah. Who would you want to be sponsored by? Like a team?
If I could pick, any team. That's a good question. I don't know an answer offhand. I don't really have any teams that I cheer for, which is kind of sad. Who would you pick, Reggie? You got a million to pick from.
You got 17 teams.
I'd probably have a Jays logo, honestly.
That's fair. Drummy?
Very fair. Leafs.
I'd go Atlanta Thrashers.
Okay.
They still must have some money in the bank.
They might have a team in short order here again.
Saw that. I said if the Thrashers get back in the NHL, I'm gonna start watching again.
How crazy would it be if the Jets go back to Atlanta?
Ooh,
No, they're not leaving.
I don't think so either.
They're getting pissy.
I mean, I haven't followed it too close, just Twitter purposes. But Chris, you missed the Bitcoin metrics at the start of the show today. Had to show her off a little bit. What we've been up to.
It's official. It is absolutely official. Tomorrow it takes place. Gentlemen, Anthony Kim plays professional golf tomorrow.
Are you watching?
I am going to have to figure out how to watch it,
Game show?
but I will be. Is it not on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll be trying to watch it at work a bit. Anyways, like we got to put eyes on this.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. Reggie's given me shit in the past for supporting Live but not watching it. I watched it. I watched the last event in Mexico, and it was actually pretty good to watch. Like, there's a lot going on, but you got Faraday there. You got a live leaderboard. There's more than just the individual score on the line, and they all finish at the same time, which is kind of cool because you're watching the scorecard, and it says how many holes there are to play for pretty much everybody. I mean, they finish at different times and stuff, but it's kind of cool. It's different.
The music playing nonstop while
It's not nonstop. It's just when they're close to the party hole.
oh, I've seen it like in the background, like on TV, like you can hear it.
Yeah,
while he's
you
trying
can
to-
hear it when they're close to the party hole. But
Oh,
some
okay,
shots
okay.
you can't see it.
Gotcha. Sorry, I thought it was just like going all the time. I thought, Jesus Christ.
No.
Maybe not annoying on the course, but as a broadcast, it's super annoying.
Yeah.
But no,
So
I don't like his. I feel like this is way bigger than it actually is.
What do you mean?
Like I don't know, man. Like I don't know if I have like
Like
a
they're
weird
making a bigger
feeling
deal of
from
it?
this. No, I don't think it's made a big enough deal.
I agree.
Like
So what do you think of him?
until probably the past like 5 years, there was nobody, like no sole person that we really cared about in the game. And if his injury didn't happen, he would have been that person. 110% in my mind.
Yep.
He would have absolutely carried the jug for the PGA Tour until we got to where we are right now.
Maybe.
So I don't know. I just
Maybe.
think there's not enough love given to this guy, but at the same time, shot 82 or 83 today, like it's not going to be this amazing instant comeback. He's not going to shoot in 62 tomorrow, I don't think.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, though. What do you think, Reggie?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I obviously wish he was on the PGA, but he's not. He's on.
Are you going to be watching?
No, I won't be watching. I'll see highlights of what he does, but I won't be watching.
I'll keep you updated. It'll be cool. It'll be kind of like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't when AK was kind of at his prime. Like I was kind of detached from golf at that time in my life, so I didn't have the same attachment to him like I would with like Tiger or somebody else like that. So I've seen him golf. I agree with Drums. I think that it is a big deal. But I mean, if you take that much time off of anything, because you have to realize how much work these guys put into golf every single day of their lives. And I mean, if you take that much time off, like, yeah, he was good, but is he going to be the same golfer tomorrow? I very much doubt it. So you could also argue that there is too much hype over it. But I do know one thing: the live ratings or the viewership this week will be the highest it's been for sure. I don't know how much, by double, maybe triple, but it's nice. You kind of need something like that to get people interested in watching. And once they watch it and they see kind of what's going on with live and how it's all being done, you're gonna pick up a few more fans that way, and you just kind of have to keep doing that. This is a big one though. If nobody gives a shit about this one, they might be set back a little bit, I think.
Very true. This is, in my mind, this is an absolute no-brainer for Liv to bring him in.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, he is going to bring instant viewers. You hope that built in with him coming back or returning or attempting to return, that maintains. That he generates more people that stick around for the next event.
Because you have to look at what happened with Rahm. Like, even when the number one player in the world went to live, like, nobody still really gave a shit about it. It's like people were watching, but it wasn't like everybody was watching. Right. And I do think that tomorrow, I think that people will just be interested to watch. And from that, there'll be a couple people that stick around. So it'll be a good thing, I think, for Liv. Hopefully he puts up some decent numbers. I think it'll be fun to watch.
I still think the whole premise of the whole Liv is a joke. I get that they've got all these guys, but like you said, they got the number one golfer in the world, and nobody really batted an eye that they had. Like I thought I would miss Rahm a lot more than I do actually.
You will in the bigger events.
Truthfully honest, yeah, the bigger events, but he'll be there at the bigger events, like the majors. So,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. It's good. I saw the interview with him, and he's like, if somebody offered you. Or he's like, somebody offered me a lot more money to golf less. Of course, I'm going to take it. which
Right.
we've kind of been saying all along. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. I think that in the grand scheme of things, I think things will be combined before we know it. And Anthony Kim will just be a player we could watch every week, which hopefully it pans out that way.
Right.
Honestly.
And yeah, maybe he's just the live guy. Maybe he's just like the fun that gets the crowd hyped for live team events. Like he's not even on a team right now. He's just a wild card. So nobody even knows what that means. Like they're just rolling the dice as they go here. So, but another live golfer made some headlines this week as well. What are your guys' take on the Gooch saying that every major basically that doesn't have an absolute full field deserves an asterisk.
Because Taylor Gooch
Suck
isn't
my
playing
dick.
Rory's Masters win wouldn't count because Taylor Gooch isn't in the field. All right.
This is where the live guys are going to start to lose me.
Idiot. Yeah.
When they keep complaining of the world rankings and they
Yeah.
keep poking at this dumb shit like this, then don't go to live. If that's
Exactly
what your opinion was and what you wanted out of life, I guess. I really don't understand it.
And if you took the bag and you went to live, shut up. Like just
That's
good.
what I mean.
You don't need to
took
talk
the bag.
about
Shut
it.
the fuck up.
Yeah, he's done. No, but really, like, what's he doing? Why does he have to attack Rory? Like, of course, if Rory wins the Masters, it'd be the career Grand Slam. Oh, because Taylor Gooch isn't in the field. Big 4-time winner Taylor Gooch in a fucking rec league. Like, buzz off, man. Like, what's he doing? Like, why?
Also,
like, why do that?
There isn't one person that's going to play the Masters that will give a fuck that Taylor Gooch isn't in it if they win.
100%.
Like, really?
100%.
Yeah, that's gross. And then the last thing I'll throw at you guys. Did you guys see this one? There was a gentleman who made a bet at the Super Bowl that it would feature a streaker. Gentleman put $50K down as a bet. And then he made the brilliant decision to be that streaker. So, third quarter, dropped trowel, ran out on the field.
Is this legit?
Yeah.
This is legit. Obviously, he got tackled, got taken away, got thrown in jail, had to pay a $1,000 fine. But that was pennies compared to his $350,000 that he won on his $50,000 bet.
They're letting him do it? Like they're letting him keep the money?
Nothing says he can't.
Well, kind of. It's like guys betting on themselves in sports. No, I don't know.
I think
it seems fishy.
it'll be fishy, and I think it'll come back. I think it ended up he got other people to place a couple bets on it, and then he went and did it.
But how is it like everybody? I don't know. I guess if you can't prove that you actually bet, then I don't know. It's
amazing play. And
yeah,
that's where he gets out, man. There's gonna be a streaker at every event ever.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
How is that the first time that's happened?
Yeah, no doubt. It's good to see the gambling companies eat a little bit of crud.
Yeah,
like if you're willing to pay out for whether somebody streaks or not, you should absolutely pay. You should pay for that. So I'm on team streaker.
Yeah.
Anytime you can screw the system over, screw it back, I'm all for it.
Boy, streaks.
Yeah, me too.
We should have done cheers to streaks tonight.
Yeah, we should have. That'd be a good cheers.
Maybe we could redo it. Let's do cheers.
Let's just do it right now. Cheers to streakers.
Mid show. Cheers to streaks.
I love that.
What a power move by streaks.
Phenomenal.
I got one more thing to add on around the greens tonight, and it was a tweet I saw from the Foreplay Boys, and so I think it was Frankie who came up with this idea. And did you see this? The ball marker idea that he came up with?
No.
So it's basically like a saucer or like a horseshoe that you put on top of the ball, and then essentially you pick up your ball, you wash it, you do whatever you have to do, you put it back, and then the ball just kind of sits in its place. And I mean, it sounds like a decent idea in thought. I think my only problem with that is like, if you've ever golfed with guys who use like the poker chips for their ball markers, I just think that Yeah, I feel like there's two things that need to be toned down a bit. One is the ball marker size, for sure. And number two is the headlights. I feel like car companies, automobile manufacturers need to, instead of just keeping I'm just saying, like, these are two categories I think that have gone too far. Poker chips, the size of ball markers, and the brightness of headlights. I think that both these need to be calmed down. And I think that Frankie's idea would just make it even bigger. Imagine you had a saucer that's this big and you're trying to putt over that thing.
Why is it there?
His argument for it was that nobody puts the ball back to the actual spot that it was in before. So with a saucer, you just essentially put it over top of it,
Like
pick
a
up
washer?
the ball. What's that?
What do you mean a saucer?
Like a saucer. You just put it over top of it, think of like a frisbee with a hole in it, like a donut type deal, where you put it right over top of the ball.
Then you pick the ball
Oh,
up.
you want like a washer?
Washer, yeah, same
Yeah.
thing. So I just feel like if it's going around the ball, like imagine how big that ball marker would be.
Right.
It'd be massive.
Yeah, you got to have
I think that if you want to use a poker chip or like one of those big ass ball markers, I think you also have to have a small one for if it's in the way, like anywhere near close to being in the way.
Yep.
And yeah.
But like, if you've seen that play happen and it's in your line, do you not tell the guy like, hey man, move that fucking tower out of the way?
For sure. But like then that just defeats the whole purpose of it, right? Because their idea here was that they put it exactly where it's supposed to be, so there's no
it doesn't move.
way. There's no I don't know what's the word I'm looking for here. There's no subjectiveness to it. There's no
There's no wiggle room for error.
Right, exactly.
Oh man. Don't you ever just want to call someone out for like when they mark their ball and then they set it down like an inch ahead? Like, fuck off. What are you gaining from that inch?
That is a pet peeve. We need to put that as a pet peeve next week.
Yeah. Well, we might have covered it, but like I would rather put my ball 6 feet behind the mark than put it 1 millimeter in front.
Oh yeah, like if I ever put it ahead, like even like a little bit, I just panic and put it like if I already picked a marker up, I just grab my ball and set it like 2 inches back. Just
okay, we're calling an audible here, boys. Mm-hmm. We're doing the fixture divots right now, and we're making this our fixture divot for tonight. So tonight's segment of fixture divot is brought to you by this Prairie Scratch Tour. The Prairie Scratch Tour is back for another year, 2024, another season. This year on the schedule, they got 5 stops. They got 1 stop at Southwood for the Spring Classic, Grand Pines for the Prairie Shootout, Quarry Oaks for the Summer Showdown, Falcon Lake for the Bison Championship, and they'll wrap things up for the 2024 Tour Championship at Breezy Bend. So if you're interested, they got room for the best golfers if you're a golfer or an older golfer. They also have the Legends category. So whatever age you are, whatever skill you are, there's a place for you on the tour. But you're going to have to compete because there's some pretty high-end golfers. Last year, the list included one of the boys from Prairie Scratch, Jordy Lutz. He was a winner last year. So there are some players, but it's something to do. Reggie will be in competition this summer. Maybe Jor as well. So to find more information and register for an event this summer, check out Prairie Scratch Tour on Instagram or visit prairiescratchtour.ca and register for a tournament. Because why not? There's absolutely nothing like competitive stroke play golf. Nothing can compare. So there you go.
I might play in an event and just put a GoPro in my head.
How come?
And live stream it. What do you guys think about that?
I've seen GoPros on heads before. It doesn't look good.
I'm gonna live stream my whole round, all 102 shots, and then me ripping up my scorecard and withdrawing, leaving the tent.
Okay, who wants to do the fixture dividend tonight? We're calling an audible here. Who wants to say it? Reggie?
Yeah.
Yeah, people that mark their ball and then place the ball ahead of where it was to try to gain an advantage. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I absolutely love it when I catch someone cheating like that and then they hit it and it's just a little too firm and it lips out and it would have went in if it was a little softer. Like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't move your ball head, dickhead.
But my thing is like, do they think that they're actually gaining an advantage by putting it an inch ahead? Like if their putt's 20 feet long, is 1 inch going to make a difference in that putt, whether you make it or not? Or are you just going to look like a dick?
And do they think
Are you
people can't
guys,
see it happen?
Yeah, are you guys actually like eyeing up everybody's placement as they mark their balls?
No, but sometimes people make it very obvious. Too
Oh,
obvious.
like when it's egregious. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, did I miss that lesson?
Well,
Of
I mean, it's
something you're
not
supposed to
hard.
do?
You either look at, because a lot of guys do it, they'll mark their ball, pick it up, and then they'll just put their ball just like an inch in front of where the marker is. So that if you just pay attention to when they're putting their ball back down, that's usually when you catch a lot of guys. But I've also seen guys go to mark their ball and throw it about 2 feet ahead of where the actual ball was before,
Yeah.
and then pretend to clear some leaves or something and drop a marker. So pretty greasy. And to me, it's like, I mean, I'd rather see a guy move it 2 or 3 feet because that's actually going to make a difference in the putt. But if you're just moving it an inch, like that's doing absolutely nothing for you, whether you're going to make the putt or not. And you just look like an idiot.
Lots of guys do it on short ones.
Yeah. But I just feel like if you do it, you got bad karma and you don't need that.
Love it.
For what? What are you doing?
So that's tonight's fixture did it.
People do it like sometimes you don't see it, but like you have in your mind like how far of a putt they had. Like you saw where the ball finished. They had chip shot or like a putt. You saw where it finished. You know how long the putt was. And then you start worrying about your own putt and then they go to finish it out and it's all of a sudden it's like 6 inches closer than it was when they hit the chip or the putt. How'd that get there? I mean, you can't really say anything. You kind of just then hope the putt misses. Like, hey, you want to cheat like that? Hopefully this misses, man. Always cheering for you, but now I'm not. It's just so annoying. I hate shit like that on the golf course. Like,
yeah, I agree. I'm with you. Drummy, is that the end of Around the Greens tonight?
That is it.
Okay. So let's move on. We got an announcement tonight. We announced last week as well, but the King Cup is July the 19th, 2024 at Oak Island Resort. And for the 4th year, we're heading back to Oak. There's going to be a bus leaving from Brandon. And the early bird, we did a quick one this year. And the reason for that is mostly because I procrastinated a little bit too long and I wanted it to be by the end of March. So deadline's March 1st for early bird. You save about $60, I think. You get a guaranteed spot in the event. I think that we're going to have a bigger field this year with a couple tournaments not being in competition with King Cup anymore. So I think that we're going to have a good turnout this year. We got quite a few teams registered already. And sometimes the boys just need a little bit of a kick in the ass. So the early bird deadline is Friday. If you register on Saturday or Sunday, we'll probably still let you off because we're good guys. So we just kind of want to, instead of making it a month and then everybody waits till the last day anyways, let's just get it done. If you want to be there, get the early bird done and we can kind of start planning a little bit better, I think. So there you have it. What else do we got? Local knowledge. So if you haven't watched the local knowledge from Rossman Lake Golf Course, it was 2 weeks ago, episode 161. You can go back, watch Rossman Lake. There's a bunch of good tips from Reggie on there and from the boys. If you're considering playing Rossman, I would check that out. And next week, we're going to have Bridges Golf Course as our local knowledge feature. So we're looking forward to that. We actually got some really good information back from the boys at Bridges. The pro and the assistant pro both had some valuable information on there. So we're making a post tomorrow. And hopefully, if you played Bridges before, you can send in some tips or something that you learned while you played Bridges, because it is quite the course if you're unfamiliar with it. Probably one of the tougher courses in Manitoba. So I'm hoping that we get some good feedback from the people who have golfed there and from the Winnipeg area. I think it's in Starbuck, Manitoba. just this side of Winnipeg. So that's it. Bridges. Reggie, let's round out the show with the Stroke Saver tonight. What do you got?
I got another reading from the Four Foundations of Golf, John Sherman. Talking about in this chapter, he talks about, I feel like I'm reading from the Bible here, but the PGA Tour policy.
He's all over my Twitter right now, too.
Yeah, me too. He's pumping out ads like crazy.
Yeah.
Sherman? Yeah. So it's basically 4 stats that should provide relief on basically what you see on TV isn't exactly how it is. It says the main goal in this section is to remove a burden off your shoulders. He played the game. It says, I played the game for too long, expecting way too much of myself. I know it hindered my ability to enjoy myself and improve. When it comes to PGA Tour stats, many of them are not relevant to ordinary golfers. Length of their drives, fairways hit, greens and rig, and other traditional stats are not helpful to your progress. However, there are a few numbers that I always like to remind people that can be very powerful. So the first one, it's called green light. It's basically just saying that over the past several years, the best player on tour from 100 to 125 yards was landing the ball just over 15 feet from the pin. The median was roughly 20 feet. So basically it just says manage your expectations from 100 yards. Even the best players in the world aren't putting it that close. The second part of this was the one that I really wanted to focus on. It says recovery situation. So the PGA Tour players make bogey roughly 80% of the time when in recovery situations, such as being in the trees. Of course, it seems like every time we see these shots on TV, there is a miraculous outcome. There's one of the most interesting statistics discussed in Mark Brody's book, Every Shot Counts. When most golfers hit an errant tee shot, their instinct is to get aggressive and try threading the ball through a small opening. Alas, it usually compounds the initial mistake and results in double bogey or worse, which is one of the main reasons people struggle to lower their scores. If you make bogey from that situation, it'll be matching the performance of most PGA players. It says, I can't stress this enough. Please remember it when you're on the course. That's like we've talked about that over and over and over, but when you see a number like that beside it, the PGA Tours make bogey roughly 80% of the time when in recovery mode. And so many times we're playing for par and we think that par is the only thing we should be able to make from that case. But if you just play for a bogey, imagine if you did that the 3 times that you were in trouble on the course and you ended up making 3 bogeys instead of 2 doubles and a triple. I mean, there's 4 shots right there. And if you're a low 80s golfer and you take those 4 shots off, you might break 80 that round just by playing for the bogey. And like 4 out of 5 PGA players make bogey from those. I mean, what does that tell you? Like those are the best guys in the world at what they do. And as soon as they get into trouble, yeah, they're not trying to make the miraculous birdie or par. They're just trying to make bogey the worst score. And I think that we need to do that a hell of a lot more on the course. But it takes little stats like that to see how they are at it and manage your expectations and not try to be the big hero. Because there's so many times you try a shot and it hits a branch and comes straight down. And then most of the time, if it's on men's night, you just pick up double, right? As soon as you hit that. But yeah. There's a chart on here. It says putting's hard for everyone. I've always thought of putting as a different game within golf. Most golfers measure their success by a binary standard. The ball went in the cup or it didn't. Missing a putt of any length is usually met with disappointment. When you start to examine the statistics behind putting and see what kind of odds golfers have at sinking putts from different distances, usually there's an element of surprise. The most eye-opening statistic, and we talk about this all the time, is that from 8 feet, a tour pro only has a 50% chance of making the putt. And like they have the whole, I think that we'll post this on the socials after the podcast. I'll take a picture of this chart so we can post it for the putting, but it's unbelievable actually. Like a tour pro from 10 feet is 40%. Scratch golfers 33, and a 90 plus golfers 20% from 10 feet.
From 10 feet?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. From 8 feet, a tour pro's 50, scratches 41, and 90 plus golfers 27%. 5 feet of scratch golfers 66%.
Really?
And we think we should just make every 5 footer. Like it's actually unbelievable. And it's so true. Like putting's hard, man. Like, and then
golf is hard.
but you miss a 5-footer and then you're rattled for the whole next hole and
Yeah,
you start doing
for sure.
shit that you wouldn't do.
I
But,
think the big one there is the 5-footer, because that, you talk about the recovery
nuts.
shots, and that's something that you can implement into your game where you can actually be proactive there. So instead of taking a double or a triple, you play that, and that's going to impact your score. It's going to impact your hole, everything. But with putting, I mean, there's a lot of guys who ruin their whole round because they miss a couple 5-footers. And if you're aware that scratch golfers only make those 60% of the time, that's pretty crazy. And then so you kind of just, I think that one of the main takeaways from Zen Golf that I got is it doesn't matter if the putt goes in or not in terms of your morale. It's how you hit the putt. I think that people should pay most attention to. And sometimes the putts just don't go in. I think that's what the hardest part about putting is there's just so many factors involved there. And it seems like the part that really drives people nuts is it seems like it should be the easiest, but it's not.
Yeah. And then, sorry, the last one is just birdie machines, hardly not. It says, if you didn't know, birdies are very hard to come by, probably much harder than you think. The best players on the PGA Tour typically average around 4.5 birdies a round, which is truly exceptional. The median on tour is about 3.5 birdies per round, and last place can be anywhere from 2.5 to 3. Additionally, most of these birdies are coming from par 5s. The scoring average on the PGA Tour in 2021 on a par 3 was 3.08, par 4 is 4.05, and par 5 is 4.63. And it just says it's very unrealistic for golfers looking to break 190 or 80 to make many birdies. The real key to reaching those milestones is mostly avoiding big numbers. Choosing aggressive strategies to make more birdies will only push you further away from your scoring goals. And so he kind of just wraps it up here. And the main takeaway from it is just to remember these stats on the course. It says golf is a challenging game, whether you're a club player or trying to be the best in the world. Time and time again, I've seen golfers beat themselves up on the course, myself included, for hitting shots that were quite good for their skill level. When your mood sours like this, it affects your mental ability to stay in the round. If you can adjust your expectations appropriately, it'll save you strokes in the long run. Keep these stats in mind and think about them during your rounds. Properly managing expectations is one of the greatest tools a golfer can have.
It's crazy. It's a completely different sport, but the perception of like analytics in the hockey world and how it's like, okay, maybe might just be a little bit of information, but when you actually put numbers to some of this stuff in the golf world, the sense that it makes and how eye-opening it should be for literally everybody, like from top to bottom in the golf world. Just hearing those stats and numbers should just be like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about where I should be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think the main takeaway from this is just like people try so hard to change their game, change their equipment, change everything about what they're doing instead of just like doing things a little bit different on the course and thinking a little bit differently on the course. Because even with things like that, I mean, you think back to different rounds, whether it's men's night, whatever it is, there's something like that happens every single round where somebody either tries to pull off a shot that they have no business doing and they turn a bogey into a double or a triple. And then that kind of snowballs into the next hole. And then they miss a 5-footer. They're already pissed off a little bit. They miss a 5-footer that they think that they should just make because it's only 5 feet. And then they get further derails and it snowballs. And then that equals about 8 strokes in terms of the first initial dumb move. And then kind of what follows that just by
the fallout from it.
Yeah. Taking yourself out of the game and focusing more on what just happened, like with the putt and with double or triple bogey. I just feel like guys get way too far out of the zone, I think you'd say, because when you're golfing your best, you're not thinking about scores. You're just hitting every shot one at a time. And when you have things like this lingering and you have expectations in the back of your mind, that's what can kind of derail everything. So I like that, Reggie.
Yeah, I like the part where he says like a lot of the time a shot that you don't think is good is actually quite good for your skill level. And you don't realize it because you think you should just hit every shot to 15 feet and 10 feet and have a birdie putt. And 18 birdie putts and get off the course. Like it's not the reality at all.
I know.
In any,
but for
any
some
way,
reason,
shape,
everybody
or form.
thinks that.
And like you could save yourself a ton of money instead of spending thousands of dollars every year on equipment. Just go see a psychiatrist and they'll get your head right and just get you thinking properly on the golf course.
Just listen to Reggie's Stroke Saver every week. Reggie, speaking of that, last week you were gone. The Stroke Saver that we did was about paying attention to. Did you watch last week at all?
No, I didn't.
Paying attention to like the slope of the green as you're walking up to it or going up to it.
Oh yeah.
And paying attention to watching other guys' balls, like their approach shots, and if they bounce,
Pause.
where they roll to it at when they finish, that kind of stuff. Do you do that during the round?
Mm-hmm.
Do you? I said I do sometimes if I'm in that zone, but Drum said he never does.
Do you never do drumming?
I got way too much other shit going on. I got music I got to get sorted. I got darts I got to find. I got drinks I got to pour and guzzle.
So yeah, that was in Greg Norman's book. Okay, well, I think that's the end of the show tonight, boys.
Greg who?
Anything else? What's that?
Greg who?
Greg Norman.
Just kidding. Good luck to AK-47 tomorrow. He's actually got a sick logo. Did you guys see that?
What team is he playing on?
He's a wild card.
So what does that mean? He just is.
Nobody knows. Nobody has a
wild card, but it has like the live L in the middle. And then it has an ace up in the top left corner and then a K in the bottom right corner. It's kind of sick.
So he's just his own team?
Nobody knows. I don't know.
Like this motherfucker might shoot 98 tomorrow. Like he's not just going to get on a team just yet.
True. They got to feel him out a little bit.
He looks like he has smoked weed nonstop since we've last seen him. Like every moment he's spent away from our eyes, he's been high.
Yeah, like put it down, bro.
And I love it.
I got it here, but oh yeah, there it is.
That's hilarious.
It's actually
I bet you that's not even guarantee that's not a real hat.
No.
Oh yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
That's just Photoshop.
Hey, Kate, looking rough.
There was some controversy over that yesterday. Monday Q was talking about that nobody's seen his face yet.
Yeah, that came out today.
Oh, that came out today.
It doesn't really look like him.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Does it? You think?
Well, we'll see. He looks the exact same as 15 years ago.
No, I'm just saying like it doesn't look like him at all. Like that picture.
We'll see him tomorrow. We'll have something to. We'll spend some time on next week's show covering the AK drama that's going on.
I actually I'm excited to see what he's wearing tomorrow. Because all we've seen him is in shit that he looked like he was literally on the beach all day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got to go compete at a professional golf tournament. Now it is live, so he can somewhat wear whatever the hell he wants. But this would be like the first guy that we see who's got tatted up sleeves, ponytail, like just absolute beach bum. I'm excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good.
Think he's wearing flippies tomorrow?
I don't think he's wearing flippies, but I think he's wearing the high socks and shorts.
Really?
Imagine if he's wearing flip-flops, man, tomorrow. Holy.
And I guarantee there isn't a button done on his shirt.
Do you think he comes that hot out of the gates? I was thinking he'd be really subtle just to kind of blend in a bit.
Come out guns blazing like a banshee.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, boys, have yourselves a great evening. It's February. Everybody's kind of in a little lull right now. Everybody's waiting for summer. You can taste it. It's very close. So, I mean, the last couple months have absolutely flown by. It's not like we need to really accelerate time. Time goes by fast enough, but it is nice to be getting some sun soon, getting some nice weather, and getting back on the course. The boys are taking golf seriously. We're back this year. Reggie's back out of his cast. Drums is putting down the drinks. He's going to pay attention to the greens, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to have a really good year here, boys. So, with that, Drummy takes out here.
We are out of here. Same bat channel, same bat place. We will be here next week, as we always are. We're out this week. Peace out, boys. Love ya. Later.
Love you, fellas.